Good afternoon and welcome to the Downtown Doctor. Today we're in the Hypohydrate IV room and we're talking about hydration. It's summer and it's hot out there. If you're in Texas, you know how hot it is. One of the risks from the heat is getting dehydrated. So we have Emily getting an IV today here in Austin, where it will reach in the hundreds, or the triple digits as we like to say. She's getting an IV with fluids that have potassium and vitamins as well as electrolytes in there. It's easy to get behind in hydrating when it's very hot outside because we're sweating, which is awesome because sweating cools us down. We really lose quite a bit of water though when we're sweating like that. The body's ability to tell the brain, hey, I'm thirsty, by the time you feel thirsty, you could be as much as 60% dehydrated. So don't rely on your brain telling you that you're thirsty when you're trying to stay hydrated. If you do get behind the hydration 8-ball, you can go to a facility and get an IV. So you're probably familiar with that whenever you call 911 or you go to an emergency room, almost no matter what's going on, the patient will be administered an IV. And that's because so many things can be made better with IV hydration. Why IV hydration? Because IV stands for intravenous. So Emily's getting fluids through her vein here. The fluids are going to bypass her gastrointestinal system. So when you drink fluids, the fluid goes through your GI system, which is very selfish and takes most of the fluids. When you get the fluids in your IV, the veins carry the electrolytes, vitamins, any additives or medicines that might be in there, and the fluids itself across the blood-brain barrier. So just a couple of minutes ago, Emily said, oh, it tastes like Cheerios, and that's great. That's how we know that the B complex and the B12 vitamins have crossed her blood-brain barrier, and that's why when you get an IV, immediately you feel better, your brain feels better. If you've had a little brain fog from dehydration or heat exhaustion, you immediately start to perk up and feel better. It's also why it feels so good so quickly for a hangover. At the end of the day, the reason hangovers make people feel so badly is because it's a dehydration situation. So we got the blood-brain barrier covered. And while I'm talking about Emily's IV, I would like to point out that once you have an IV placed in your arm, there is not a needle, at least the way we do it here in this medical clinic, there is no needle in her arm anymore. She can bend her arm up and down as much as she wants to. She could grasp this pole, walk all around the clinic. There's just a tiny Teflon, which is a type of plastic catheter inside there feeding the fluids in her vein. It's very comfortable. Yeah. You don't have to believe me, the patients tell us it's really comfortable. So it's become more popular now to be able to get an IV. If you're an athlete, if you're dehydrated, it can be part of a health and wellness program. For those of us who are over 40, someone might be over 50 who's looking into the lens right now, I love getting vitamin C IVs. And doctors have known this for decades and have been getting vitamin C IVs. Fortunately, Kim Kardashian got excited because her skin started getting bright and nice when she started getting vitamin C IVs. And so more of y'all out there know about that and you know to come in and ask for it, which is great. So ask your doctor about IVs if your doctor does IVs. If they don't, you can call around to different places in your area that might have IVs. I do recommend going to a medical facility, in my opinion, because this is a medical procedure. You're better off with staff that is trained, and if something in the unlikely event happened that was not good, I would want someone who is medically trained to deal with those. And if you're in Austin, or if you're not, get on a plane and come down here, check us out, www.hypohydrate.com. We are located inside the doors of the Downtown Doctor. We do IVs for people of all ages. We love treating kiddos when they've gotten down in their hydration from a diarrheal illness or a bunch of vomiting. It's nice that they can come in here. It's a tranquil environment, and we have really good stickers, as opposed to going to the emergency room where you might have a $500 copay and you are almost guaranteed to not get a bag made by a chemist such as myself with the really good things that go into it. You're more likely to get a saline bag, which by the way is salt water, and I'm not going to go into the rabbit hole. That could be a whole nother video of me talking about why I don't think that's a good idea. Thank you so much for your attention, and we look forward to helping you with your hydration needs.